Felser.
Oh, Sam.
Gentlemen.
What are you so happy about?
Phil Everts is dead.
What? Who killed him?
I guess you might say the hatchet killed him.
Quit the riddles. What happened?
Red Cortine found him frozen to death out on the range near Indian Springs. He and Will Ballard and the whole hatchet crew been out on the prod ever since the snow started, trying to save the herd. I guess his heart couldn't take it.
Phil Everett. You know something? I thought he'd bury me.
It's gonna go pretty hard with Celia. She thought the world revolved around her dad.
Yeah, her dad thought so, too. Well, what do you think of that? Phil Everett finally met up with something that wouldn't take orders from him. A blizzard. Sit down, Sam. Deal him in, Neen.
Oh, thanks. I'm on my way out to Hatchet.
Oh, sure. Now that you're a member of the family pretty near. It's only right.
Pretty lucky guy, Dan Felser. I wouldn't mind having Celia Everts crying on my shoulder.
Well, good night.
Am I the only one in this pot?
Well, I guess it's all yours, Bud.
Guess this is my lucky night.
Hi, Ballard. What's on your mind?
My crew's on roundup near Indian Springs.
Well?
Mariners outfit the Bib M. They're right alongside us. This morning, Schultz came over and claimed one of our yearlings. It was on hatchet grass, and it was a hatchet yearling. There's no doubt about it. Schultz says it was a maverick. He mixed a little, and I took it.
How about it, Schultz? Is that true?
It's about the size of it. Only I still say it was a maverick. They can have it for all of me. Hatchet's in a bad way. Guess they need even a bone-thin little maverick like that was.
You were singing a different tune this morning. He was bragging about coming into Boundary and swearing out a warrant against me.
This can go on all night. Are we going to play poker, or are we going to...
Shut up, Kavanaugh. Neen, I'm warning you. No warrant.
So you're warning me, huh?
You heard me?
Well, now, you hear me, Mr. Will Ballard. Hatchet was never big enough to give orders as the sheriff of this county, not even when Phil Everts was alive. Now Phil Everts is dead, and you don't make big tracks around here anymore. Remember that, Ballard.
You better be sure Hatchet's dead, Neen, before you and Bide Mariner and the rest of your pack start digging a grave for it. No warrant. I don't know what the idea was. I guess Mariner was trying to find out whether I'd take it from Schultz.
Is Joe Neen against you and Hatchet, too?
Neen? Sure. Sheriff's star doesn't change a man's greed. Lottie, could I have the loan of your horse? I have to ride out to the range.
Tonight? Oh, Will, must you? Papa will be home soon. You can stay here. I get so lonesome for you.
Me too.
You'll stay?
I can't, sweetheart.
But I've hardly had an hour with you since Phil Everts died. You'd think the world had come to an end.
It almost did for Hatchet.
All right. I'll get a lantern.
Steady, steady.
Well, when are you going to be practical? The whole county's against you. Every rancher in the valley hated Phil Everts.
Sure they hated him. Smarter and tougher than anybody else.
But he's gone now.
Yeah, he's gone.
His brother's nothing like him.
No. Hatchet would be better off if Celia was the boss instead of her Uncle John.
A woman?
Well, Celia's not like the regular run. She has her old man's toughness, but in her it's... Well, her mother was as kind and good a lady as ever lived. Celia's like her, too, with Phil's fight.
That's why you're fighting for it, then. To keep it for Celia.
Her father wanted her to have it.
She's going to marry Sam Danfelser.
What's that got to do with it? I'll stay as long as I'm needed.
As long as Celia needs you.
As long as Hatchet needs me.
Oh, well, I think you're wrong. But if you ever need me, you can count on me.
Thanks, darling.
Daddy? Who's that with you? Oh, it's you, Will.
Evening, Mr. Priest.
Taking the horse far, Will?
Out to Hatchet.
I told him he could, Papa.
Of course, of course. Well, I suppose the two of you'll soon be setting the day. Let me know when you're ready to buy a place, Will. Might be able to put you in the way of a good bargain.
Oh, Will can't get married yet, Papa. First he has to save Hatchet.
Now, look, Lottie.
Oh, don't pay any attention to me.
I won't. Night, Lottie. Night, Mr. Priest. Ike, what are you doing here? How come you're off roundup?
Well, I figured you ought to hear about it quick.
Hear about what?
You no more lit out for town this morning and Biden Mariner moved his wagon over to Indian Springs.
Do me a favor, Ike. Give me a good kick in the pants.
I'm always glad to oblige a friend, but there's a heap of people I'd sooner kick than you, so you gotta wait your turn.
Schultz put on that show just to draw me away, and I fell for it. Mr. Everett's up at the house?
Yeah, him and Sam and Celia.
Well, I'm inclined to believe Ike Adams is being spooked. Bide Mariner's roundup boss. He can order his wagon wherever he wants to. You can't keep a roundup crew off your range.
Now they're on, they'll stay. I've known right along the showdown to come after the snows.
Well, maybe Mariner will lease from us.
Ah, you're fooling yourself, John. Mariner doesn't lease, he takes.
Well, what do you think we ought to do?
Give him Indian Springs.
Sam, are you out of your mind? Take Indian Springs, the best water for miles and miles around, and simply hand them over to Bide Mariner? Why should we?
Because, my dear, Hatchet is in no position to fight Bide Mariner right now. He's always had his eye on Indian Springs.
Well, who around here hasn't? Dad found Indian Springs and claimed them for Hatchet. They're ours and they stay ours.
As long as you can hold them. You can't hold them any longer. Give him Indian Springs, he'll be satisfied.
Oh, that's what people think when they pay blackmail. I'll give him this and then he won't bother me. It doesn't work out that way, Sam. Knuckle under to Biden will have every outfit in this county camping on our doorstep.
Now, Celia, there's a lot in what Sam says.
What does Will say? You pay Will to run Hatchet. Why don't you ask his advice?
Your uncle knows what Will would say. He doesn't agree.
We'll ride out to Indian Springs early, Will. I'll talk to Bide myself.
All right.
I'll sleep here, Celia. Coming, Will?
I still have some work to do.
I'd like to talk to you. Celia, it's late. Why don't you go to bed?
I'm not sleepy. I've got too much to think about.
Well, I wish you'd do your thinking in your own room. I don't like to have you sitting around with Will Ballard like this.
I can think of something worse.
Celia, I'm serious.
I'm serious too, Sam. I've known Will Ballard since I was 10.
Well, you're not 10 now.
He's not my man. He's Lottie Priest. I belong to you, and don't you ever forget it. Run along to bed, darling. Where have you stayed, Will?
Habit, I reckon. Why have you? Sam wants to take you out of Hatchet.
Ha. Not till he's clear of debt.
That's sound.
Poor Will. You've been top dog too long to really like this, haven't you?
All right, I have. Those days are gone.
Are they, Will? The tracks Dad made in this country. The big tracks. Are they all rubbed out?
John Everett says so. I work for him.
I don't believe it. Neither do you.
We're a couple of mavericks, kid.
Good night, Will.
Night. Everybody gone?
Mr. John and Mr. Sam go away pretty early.
Who turned the stock out in the rain?
Mr. Sam, I think.
Mr. Sam, I bet. I'm an easy man to fire, but I want to hear it spoken.
You'll hear it spoken when I say it, Will. We didn't want you along this morning. You're no man to face Bide, that's all.
You figured that out all by yourself, Sam?
I did.
I'm in this all the way or I'm out of it. Which is it going to be, John?
You're in it, Will.
Either Sam runs his own D-cross or he runs Hatchet. Which?
I run the D-cross.
Bide's chuck wagon off Roundup.
Saves us a trip.
Whoever's chopping wood up there isn't getting firewood. He's chopping a green tree.
Morning, Bide. Much of anything at Indian Springs?
I didn't look.
We were headed for there.
What for?
I figured you might want that grass this winter. Hatchet can't use it. Take it if you want it.
I did. Hatchet's singing pretty small all of a sudden. How come?
No use hogging range you can't fill.
Or hogging range you can. What else you giving away, Everett?
Nothing.
So we're going to have to take it from you, huh? Well, I guess we can do that, too.
What are you taking, Bide?
Take a look around you. Did you hear that chopping just now? That's Ray Cavanaugh. He's throwing up a line shack right here. His graves will join mine at the Springs. I'm helping him move in. I'm going to help others, too.
Cavanaugh's graves won't join yours unless he fights for it.
Well, then you're going to have quite a job on your hands. Cavanaugh's cattle are already on the Hatchet. The whole country's moving in on you, Everett. Didn't you know that? The gang from under Indian Ridge, from the Salt Hills, from the Indigos, maybe. They're all moving in.
You're lying.
Don't move, Bide.
Get down, Schultz. Let's go. Take them back, Bide. You can do better than that.
There'll be another time.
Yeah, but this one you'll remember. Now, light out. Drop your gun, Bide, and leave your horses.
What about the wagon?
Leave it.
You stinking engine. I'll remember that another time.
Still fire me, John.
Go right ahead, Will.
That was a mistake. Who made the first one?
Bide Mariner won't forget that, Will. I know I'm his neighbor.
He's not supposed to. I don't want him to.
John, I'd fire him. He stays. I've had enough. Get up.
Howdy. Have some coffee?
Thanks. Where'd you drop from?
We come up from the south with some Indian trail herd. Got paid off on the reservation and took our wages from cattle.
From the looks of that scrubby bunch, I'd say you's underpaid.
You're on Hatchet land.
Yeah. Sure is rich. Man, red-headed feller in a saloon back up here in 10 Mile put us onto this.
Red 14.
That's him.
Red 14 told you to help yourselves to Hatchet Range?
That's right. Said Hatchet was busting up. Got no hands left. Foreman's a fellow named Ballard. He can't ride the whole range himself.
No.
So anybody can move in.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Fellow named Ballard.
Oh, me.
What's your name?
Young. I'm Mel. He's Jim.
You boys are in trouble because you talked to Corteen. Stealing horses, stealing cattle, peddling whiskey to the Indians. That's Corteen's line.
We sure can pick 'em.
What are you going to do now?
Get off your range.
You want grass for your stuff?
Sure.
Bad enough to work for nothing? Oh. I'll put you up and feed you, but there's no pay in it. You can run your stuff along with ours.
We'll take it.
We're having trouble, you understand.
We'll take that, too.
Ranch house is 20 miles due west. Tell the cook I hired you.
Them rawhiders, Will. They'll steal you deep and blind. I'd sooner let Blackleg hit my herd than let rawhiders on my range. You're gonna be sorry you hired them two varmints.
We need a crew if we're going to fight, Ike.
Wes, I want you to give a message to Ray Cavanaugh.
What?
His cattle were on my range. I'm holding him at Hatchet. If Ray wants them, he'll have to come and get them.
Well, Get down there, Bert. Get off that horse.
You're a sick man, Ray.
Yeah, I'm sick. I'm putting it 5 hours in the rain. Now I'm setting you afoot.
I don't think so.
You killed him. You saw him. He was pulling a gun on me. I had to do it.
He wasn't reaching for his gun.
Listen, Wes, you're in this, too.
Well, not me. I didn't shoot him. I didn't have a gun.
I'll tell Ballard you did. You're not dragging me into this. Go ahead, shoot. Lever a shell in. You forgot that.
Ray, what are we going to do?
Get out of the range first.
Yeah, but
He's dead, ain't he? They won't know he's dead if they don't find him. We gotta bury him up in the timber. Rain will hide the hole, hide his tracks.
no, Ray, not on my face. Battle will kill me when he finds out.
How's he gonna find out? Get a shovel. Listen, you jughead. We're in this together, see? Now you're gonna bury him and I'm gonna watch you do it. Then I'm going home. And you ain't lighting out neither, you can't. Will Ballard will hunt you to the end of the earth. Oh, bluff it out. Nobody can prove anything. Get a shovel.
Hello, Sam.
Hi, honey. Huh? It's good.
They're awful, and you know it. John's gone. I'm just doing this to keep from thinking about it.
Gone?
Yes, didn't come home last night. He left the men yesterday in all that rain. Said he was going to Kennedy's. Will rode over there this morning.
Oh, he probably just got so wet and cold he stayed the night.
Do you think so? I don't.
Celia, what are those cattle doing in the horse corral?
We sees them on Hatchet grass.
Well, you can't keep them. Will knows that.
We don't want to. The men who come to claim them are going to be mighty uncomfortable.
Talked to Bide in town yesterday. Just one thing keeping him in this fight.
Hatchet Range.
Will Ballard.
Oh? How did he happen to say that?
I asked him what would satisfy him. He said he hadn't even thought about it beyond getting rid of Will Ballard.
In other words, you made a deal with Bide. He'll quit if Will goes.
Something like that. Was understood, sort of.
Why did you do that, Sam?
I was looking for a basis to settle a row. Why is Will so important to Hatchet that you and John are willing to wreck it to keep him?
If I have anything to say about it, Will won't go. So forget it.
All right. But not until John knows about this.
I'll tell him.
Guess I'll be getting on.
I'm sorry, Sam. I'm worried about Uncle John. Don't be angry with me. I'm scared. I need you.
What's the idea, Wes? You like digging mud?
Yeah, well, the rain made me sick of the inside of that shack. Hiya. Howdy.
Were you here yesterday?
Yep. What's the matter, lose some cattle?
Anything wrong?
Wrong? I know. There's nothing wrong with me. Why?
You seem a little worried. John Everts rode up this way yesterday. Did you see him?
Me? I know.
Are you sure, Wes?
Of course I'm sure I was here, wasn't I?
You're worried, Wes.
All right, I'll tell you. I stole a hatchet steer. I figured you wouldn't miss one more after all you lost last winter, so I stole him. I butchered him and I buried his hide. But I'll pay you back. I swear I will. I've got to...
Stop it. Just make it good. What do you think, Jim?
He's too trifling to hurt a man.
Well, we'll check anyway. You cut for sign on the trail to the west. I'll ride over the other side.
Call again. Howdy, Will.
Howdy. Got a hatchet horse outside. I want to leave him in your stable for a couple of days.
Well, I suppose I could let you do that.
I'll pay for his feed.
Oh, well. How's things at Hatchet?
Falling apart nicely, thanks. I want enough grub for a couple of days.
Going on some kind of a trip, Will?
Hunting trip. Tell Lottie I'll see her in a few days.
Will, I got a business proposition today. Reliable fellow from the Indigos wants to stock some new range, quick. He says there's not much risk. Wants me to go shares with him.
Well?
Well, it's a bit out of my line.
Yeah, you never were a cattleman.
No, I never was. And then again, if there's money to be made...
You might as well make some of it yourself. That it?
That's it. Now, about the risk in it, I figure it's not big right now. What's your opinion, Will?
Right now, not very big.
Oh, thanks, Will, thanks. Now, let's see. You want some flour, some bacon?
Don't do that to me, Red.
Well, you got here sooner than I figured. Go ahead, look us over. Saloon, store, hotel, all the rooms if you like.
How'd you hear about John Everts?
Well, as a matter of fact, Wes Kennedy rode through here last night on his way out of the country. He usually spooks first, don't he?
What'd he say?
Well, that you was on the prod looking for John Everett. He got drunk too quick to talk much.
Red, you better remember. Who'd he drink with? Who'd he talk to?
He's got a girl here. She works for him in the hotel.
Take me to her.
Yeah. Delia, Will Ballard wants to talk to you.
Dispense me. Sit down. What did Wes tell you about me?
He didn't tell me anything. I don't even know you.
You know, he's going to have to ride pretty long and pretty far to get away from this murder charge. John Everett's had a lot of friends, all over the back country.
Wes didn't kill John Everett.
And Everett's is dead. I don't think Wes killed him. What's the sense of his coming back to prove he didn't?
He's gone. You can't bring him back.
I can. He stole a Hatchet steer.
He didn't. He made that up.
He admitted it to me and Jim Young. That's all Joe Neen needs to send his name out to every other county sheriff and have him brought back. What's the sense in hauling him back? He'll have to face that charge and maybe a murder charge on top of it. What's the sense, Amelia, when you can tell me what he knows?
But I don't know anything.
You know he didn't kill John Everett, don't you?
Yes.
Tell me how you know, and I'll forget about Wes.
I can't tell you. I gotta work here. If I told you, I'd be killed too, maybe.
Why don't you follow him? There's money for it. I can give it to you.
How much?
Whatever you need.
$100.
All right.
And I gotta have time to get away before you let on who told you.
All the time you need.
Well,
You wait here. I'll get the money. I want $100. I want it now.
Why should I give you $100?
Because you've sold rifles and rotgut to the Indians. Because you've rustled cattle, you and Bide.
I'm not afraid of you, Will. Don't you ever think it. Phil Everett once told me to stay off a Hatchet. I'm telling you now to stay out of 10 Mile.
I'll be back to pay you.
This 100's to keep you off of my back. You'd better stay off.
I'll be back.
You in a hurry, Ballard?
I am.
I shouldn't take this. I don't really know.
Tell me.
Well, Wes got too drunk. I took him to my room to sleep it off, but he kept talking. He was telling me he had to leave. I didn't know why. And then he kept saying, Ray shouldn't have shot him. He said it over and over.
Thanks. How many days do you want?
2 days, I guess.
Where's your horse, Ballard?
us in the blacksmith shop.
Never mind reloading. If he's still alive in there, you look like a sieve.
I'll be back, Cortine.
Any news about Uncle John?
Nope. And the last two good hands we had quit us this morning. They must have figured John's being gone spelled trouble for us.
Oh, let him go. If they're that chicken-hearted, we don't want them.
Honey, they could have chicken hearts and lily livers and we'd still want them. Nobody left now but me and you and the cook.
We've got the young boys, Mel and Jim.
And the young boys, Mel and Jim. They're my idea of nobody. Take today, I told them two rawhiders to ride a piece of the west boundary and then meet me up on the north range. I had a hunch some of that Indian ridge trash was running cattle up there. Well, when I got there wasn't no cattle. But them two saddle bums never did show up. Wait till I see Will. I'm gonna tell... Hey!
What's the matter, Ike?
Looks like something going on up the ground.
Mister, all we know is we was told to watch out for strange beef.
Strange beef. Well, those are my cattle. They're marked with my brand.
Well, that looks like Harv Garrison. It is Harv. And them's Harv's cattle.
And them saddle bums, the rawhiders.
Ah.
They're on Hatchet Range. They ain't Hatchet cattle. That makes them strange to us.
Ike, I know you had nothing to do with this.
How far over the line was your stop?
5 miles.
I'm asking him, not you.
Jim just wanted to make sure you heard right.
Is that right?
Well, yes, maybe it was about 5 miles, but let's be sensible about this, Ike. Will and John Everett can't hope to hold on to all of Old Hatchet. They don't intend to. Now, these here cattle are my claim to the range border and mine.
You seem pretty sure.
Well, I got a right to be. You know who the co-owner of that herd is with me? Lowell Priest.
Well, I'll ask Will.
I told you, rawhiders, that was Priest's cattle. Now help me cut them out of there.
They stay right here.
You mean you're going to hold them anyway?
Your will says to drive them back.
You'll be sorry for this. You and your whole scummy crew will do time for this.
Give them their 6-shooters, boy.
Good day, Mr. Garrison.
Go!
We kind of figured we had this bunch, and we didn't have the other bunch he was talking about.
So we brung them in.
You know something? Maybe you two boys will make good hatchet hands. I said maybe. Get out of here now and go to work.
And then she told me it was Ray Kavanaugh. Hatchet's yours now, Celia.
There's nothing more you can do.
Will, I'll stand by you.
Celia,
I know. If it's what you have to do, then do it.
Celia, what are you talking about?
Kavanaugh. It'll be a fair fight. Kavanaugh won't be shot in the back. If I know Will, he'll let Ray draw first.
You talk like a drunken squaw.
Kavanaugh should have a trial. A fair trial. There's no hope for that, Sam. Where Hatchet's concerned, there are no courts here, so we have to find justice another way. Will's way. Oh, Sam, can't you see that? You know Will. You know the kind of man he is.
Are you in love with Will Ballard?
I'm going to marry you? What are you talking about?
You're going to get rid of Will. I'm going to tell him he's through at Hatchet.
He isn't. You can tell him, but he won't believe you.
have an art cut out.
That the way it's done? Catch him in the dark? We gotta have a talk, Will.
I've got something to do and you're in the way. Get out.
I'll get out when I've finished. You're through at Hatchet.
Celia sent you?
I came for myself. I say you're through.
You're a little ahead of yourself. Hatchet isn't yours to boss yet.
She's done with you. She's talking like a little fool and her uncle's dead because of you. And now you've turned her against me. Get out while you're still alive.
You can bully women. You stick to them and don't bother me. How'd you get here?
I followed him.
Now stay away from me, Sam. I told you not to bother me. Come into town with me.
I think this'll fit you. It was always miles too big for Papa. It got sun-streaked in the store, and he thought he might as well get the wear out of it.
Thanks, darling.
Here, I'll help you. Will, what's going to happen?
Gonna be busy.
Will, you're through. Can't you see that? Hatchet Sam's worried now, and you fought with him. You're out of it. Forced out of it at last.
No, I don't see it.
Well, face facts, Will. Pull out of that snarling pack of dogs.
I can't pull out. Sam can't handle it. Celia wants me to stay.
Oh, I'm sure she does. She's engaged to Sam. She'll make do with Sam if she can't have you, but she doesn't want you out of her sight.
Don't talk like that, Lottie.
All right. But you told Dad to put his money into cattle and then took the cattle away from him.
Your father has his own greed to thank for that.
You deny that you encouraged him to help Garrison stock his new range?
Lottie, whose range? That's Hatchet range. Would I do that?
He said you did.
He asked if there was any risk in moving in. I left it up to him.
And then his cattle were seized by your men.
They'll stay seized. Bye, Lottie.
Hi, Pat. Bide Marin is in the back room. Said he wanted to talk to you as soon as you come in.
Sheriff. Leave us alone a little while, will you, fellas? Joe? Sit down.
No, I'll stand.
Now, sit yourself. Joe, Ray Kavanaugh killed John Everts.
I know. Sam told me.
Ray's out at my place.
Bide, I stood still for your breaking up Hatchet, but I can't stand still for murder, and you know it. I've got a warrant for Ray Kavanaugh, and I'm taking him in.
Who's stopping you? Shooting John Everts was certainly no part of my plan. Ray Kavanaugh heard that Will Ballard was on the prod for him, so he comes banging on my door, hollering, "Let me in, let me in." I hightailed it into town looking for the law.
I told you he murdered Everts?
Yep. John Everts went out to Kennedy's place, and Ray Kavanaugh was there, coming down sick from being put afoot the day before. When he came out, Everts saw him and ordered him off the place.
Off Kennedy's place?
That's right. Ray told Everts where to go, and Everts pulled a gun on him. Ray ducked back in the shack, and Everts come in shooting, all misses. Ray found his gun and shot him.
I know. In the back.
Well, Ray and West buried John in the timber in back of Kennedy's shack. They knew that Will Ballard had never believed that Ray shot him in self-defense, so Kennedy spooked and lit out, and Ray, like I told you, came to me.
Yeah, but you didn't believe that, John, did you, Bide?
Me? No.
Then you want me to arrest Kavanaugh and hold him for trial, hmm?
That's what you usually do with a man who admits he killed someone, isn't it?
Yeah, but Bide, what do you want out of this?
Justice. Simple justice.
Yeah, you mean you want Hatchet tried?
That's exactly what I mean. You put Ray Kavanaugh on trial and we've broken Hatchet. No jury in this county would hang a man that Hatchet wanted hung. When Ballard sees that, he'll quit. Can't fight that. Nobody'd work for him. Pretty soon he'd be afraid to ride alone. He'd light out. Even a stubborn wild man like Ballard.
Yeah, that's one way to lick Hatchet, all right.
And legal.
But it's the way I'd rather not have anything to do with.
You've got to, Joe. The law says so. You're like a train on a track from now on. You go straight to the end of the line. That's what the law says.
Yeah, but Bide, Everts was shot in the back. Doesn't that mean anything to you?
Not a thing. I didn't shoot him. Ray Kavanaugh shot him, and Ray Kavanaugh will stand trial for it. Of course, if it works to my advantage, no man can blame me. Well, Joe, when do you want him?
All right. I'll be out.
Well, don't wait too long. The word will be out tomorrow, and you've got a job to do, Sheriff.
Just come from the barber shop.
What is it you want of me, Cortian?
I just want to talk to you.
Well, I don't see what you want with me.
It's a business deal. You know, I saw Harv Garrison a couple of days ago. That's a hard thing Will Ballard did to him about those cattle.
Yeah?
Your cattle, too, ain't they?
Well?
Garrison says so. I aim to get them back, Priest. You think Will Ballard's going to treat you any different on account of Lottie?
That's no business of yours.
He won't treat you any different, not if I know Will Ballard. How bad you want him back?
Well, personally, I never take an order unless I can deliver the goods.
I can deliver.
How?
Take them away from him.
And, what's your share?
Not 1 red cent, my friend.
That's a little hard for me to understand.
Not if you saw how Will Ballard wrecked my place. All I want is an excuse to return the call. Look, Priest, I can't go into Hatchet and brace Ballard. Dean don't like anything about me or 10 Mile. That's all he'd need to close me out. But if I can go into Hatchet and demand my cattle that Ballard's holding illegally, and he tries to stop me, I'll be within my rights.
Your cattle?
Make out a bill of sale dated yesterday. I'll make out one dated today, and you can hold it. All I want is a chance to go into Hatchet.
And suppose there's trouble?
Why do you think I've got my men outside?
I don't like this.
I'm a black sheep, but the color don't rub off.
It's not the color that bothers me. It's the smell. Come on, let's sign those bills of sale.
For you since morning, Will. Bide Mariner's crowd's telling all around that Kavanaugh shot Mr. Everett in self-defense.
Self-defense? Anybody believe him?
Talk is the jury will believe him.
Yeah, I reckon they will. Got any word on where Kavanaugh's hiding out?
Nobody knows that. Except in me. He's out to Bib M, Will. Sheriff's riding out there today to bring him in.
You head back for Hatchet, Chimp.
You sure you don't want me to side you?
Thanks.
That's Will Ballard.
Give him his gun, Neen. Pick it up, Kavanaugh. You got the first shot. Back there in the timber. Rode full tilt into a branch. His neck's broken.
Should have been broken on the gallows.
I made a mistake about you, Joe. I'm sorry for it.
Oh, that's all right.
We're not going to go easy on you.
Not on either of us.
Did he tell you where you buried John?
On the north slope, above Kennedy's shack. I feel better now. What kind of a man am I for saying that?
An honest one.
Thanks, Will. I'd like to think that I am.
Bet you circle up there and watch from the outside when trouble starts.
Right.
Ike, I've come for my cattle.
None of yours here, except by mistake. And about cattle, Hatchet don't make no mistakes.
You got 100 of mine, and it's no mistake. Read this.
Get it, boy.
Bill of sale from Priest.
They stay in the corral, Red. You better be moseying back the way you come.
8-3, Ike. You'd better pick your man, because you won't get a second shot.
Then I'm laying a bead on you.
Ike, you're covered. Figure it out. Now put down that gun and shut up.
Pete, Frank, Loco, drive them cattle out of the corral. You two, keep that cook and rawhider on the inside. Bud, you and Dean come to the house with me.
Let me go, I ain't hurt.
You come with me. Grab her! Oh! Drive her! Bring her on in.
About half carbolic, ain't she?
Hang on to her, Dean. Bud, help me break this stuff up. Give Will Ballard a look at that. He'll think twice before he wrecks 10 Mile again.
You'll finish it next time. If you're wise, you'll leave the country, Corteen.
You can tell him why Ike was shot, too. I got a bill of sale for 100 head of cattle bought off a priest. Ike wouldn't honor it. Tell him that. I took a lot off your old man and Will Ballard when Hatchet was top of the heap. I aim to show you and Will Ballard just how it feels.
There you are, Ike.
Sure do thank you, honey. This ranch house in bad shape.
It's not good.
That red Corteen didn't come down here after no cattle. Come down here to take his fight out on the well.
Yes, the Dad and Hatchet.
That low old priest had the decency of a polecat. He wouldn't get Will in a fix like this. His son-in-law to be. What do you think of that no-good, money-loving so-and-so, huh?
Don't ask me questions like that. You're too weak for strong language.
Oh? Yeah.
Get some sleep.
All right.
Morning.
I had Russ bring you out here for two reasons, Sam. First, I want a witness outside of my own crew to these tracks on the ground. You can see for yourself there were 3 horses here yesterday.
Yes, I see that.
My other reason is that the third rider was Will Ballard. He rode Cavanaugh down. Cavanaugh broke his neck trying to shake him. I'm out to get Will Ballard. If I have to wreck Hatchet to do it, I'll wreck Hatchet. I wanted you to hear that from me straight.
Where do you think I got these marks? I'm not only with you, Bide. I hope I'm ahead of you. You hear that, Neen?
You can go back to town, Neen. We're through with you.
Don't be too sure of that, Bide.
I'm taking my men out to Hatchet. I'm going to wait for Will Ballard. Coming along?
Dad brought that over the Indigos on muleback before the railroad was in. Spied Mariner, come on. Why are you riding with him, Sam?
This isn't Sam's job, Miss Everett. I guess I might as well tell you why we're here. Have you heard that Will Ballard killed Ray Cavanaugh?
Neen, let him.
I'm glad.
That's a peculiar thing for a lady to say.
No, it isn't. There was a gunfight between a killer and a good man. The good man won. What do you want?
We're going to wait here for Will.
Are they, Sam?
Will's got to be caught. This is the way.
You're helping Bide against us now.
I'm out to get Will Ballard. That's helping you more than it is Bide, if you only knew it.
You're the man I'm going to marry, Sam. Is it right to ask you to clear these men out of here? Come on, boys. They want the house.
Oh, I don't comb my hair, Celia. I just let the wind do it. And if that's that red Cortina's varmint's back again, you gotta let me get out of here.
Now, Ike, you behave yourself. I told you everything's all right. It's just Sam. Sam and a crew. There's no trouble.
Miss Everts, Mr. Dan Felser wants to talk to you. Want I should tell him no?
No, I'll talk to him. You sit with Ike.
Celia, we've got to have a talk.
Go into the bunkhouse, Jim. It's all right.
What happened up at the house?
Red Cortine.
Chris said Ike was shot.
Yes. Ike was shot fighting for his own people. Ike's a peculiar sort of fellow that way.
Look, Celia, we've got to get this thing settled.
It's settled. I'll listen to you, though.
You'd think I was wrong instead of Ballard. You seem proud of him. A killer.
Nobody's proud of a killing, Sam. Will gave him a chance.
How do you know?
I know Will.
A year ago, I asked you to marry me. I don't know much about women, but I know what I want in a wife. I want her to be loyal. I want her to believe in me and the things I do. Is that asking too much?
No. That's not asking too much.
Well, are you being loyal? Do you believe in anything I do? Anything?
No.
Well, I got Will Ballard to thank for this, too.
You have yourself to thank, Sam. When I promised to marry you, it was because I loved you and trusted you and looked up to you. Now well, you said it yourself. I don't believe in anything you do.
I always was second best. You wanted Will. Celia, answer me this and tell the truth. If Will Ballard had ever looked at you, would you have taken me?
The kind of man I thought you were? Oh, yes.
When did I change? When did I stop being almost as good as the great Will Ballard?
You never were. It's Hatchet you want, Sam. You wanted me because someday I'd own Hatchet. Will's fighting for Hatchet. Fighting against you and your friends Bide Mariner and Red Cortine. That's why you hate Will.
Yes, I hate him. He beat me up. Did a good job of it, too. Now he's taking you. I hate him, and I'm gonna kill him.
Thank you for that, Sam.
Lottie.
They're after you, aren't they?
Are they in town?
I suppose they're all over town. Isn't everybody entitled to shoot at you now? Oh, Will, how could you do it?
I did what I had to do. Now let's don't talk about it.
I promised you once I'd help you if you ever needed help. What'd you need, Will? Blankets, guns, food?
Nothing. I didn't come here for that.
What do you want, Will? It's so useless to keep this up. One of your men was shot. All of the cattle you've taken are gone. Red Corteen took all of his cattle from Hatchet yesterday.
Corteen? We didn't have any Corteen stuff.
Dad sold him his cattle. Red went in to take them, and one of your men was hurt in the fight.
Your father's nose for $1 is leading him into peculiar company. You know Red, Lottie? Red's number's coming up. Who was hurt?
Mike Adams, I think.
This is the last chance for us, Lottie. One of us has got to change. I can't. I came here to ask you to meet me in 2 days up on the reservation and have the preacher marry us. If it won't change me, I'll go back to Hatchet.
And I'll meet you on the reservation in 2 days and marry you, Will. But if you go back to Hatchet, you'll never see me again.
I figured I'd come and go from Kavanaugh's place while they're hunting me. I'll be there 2 nights from now. If you change your mind, right up there and we'll go to the reservation. Will you do that?
If I change my mind.
Right. You seen Jonine?
No, I haven't seen him. Jonine has resigned, but he don't know it. Any man that pays any attention to Jonine from now on is wasting his time. This isn't a private fight against Hatchet, you know.
Well, hunting Will Ballard, that's the sheriff's job.
Sure, it's the sheriff's job, but Jonine isn't doing it. That's why we got to do the job for him.
Oh, Mariner, count me out.
Ballard seized your cattle, didn't he?
That's right. But I got him back and I sold him. I'm out of this.
Quite a bunch of you here from the Indigos. You heard what I just said. Are you coming in?
We're all together, Bide. We talked it over. It's not our fight.
I'll bet you'll use the Hatchet grass when Will is licked.
You gotta lick him first.
I'll lick him, with or without your help. What's the matter? You afraid of him?
Maybe. I'd breathe a lot easier without that wild Indian Will Ballard on my neck. I'm not gonna hunt him and I'm not gonna take his grass.
What's wrong with you, Harv? What's the matter? You all scared?
He's only a man.
True, friend, very true. I see he still managed to whittle you down a couple of inches, didn't he?
That he did. And I'm going to kill him for it. And I don't need any of you yellow bellies to hold him for me.
Well, all I can say is that the more of us there are, the quicker the job will be done. Think that over. The way you talk to that lot, there's no way to get up a bunch.
Now, they wouldn't have come with us anyhow.
I know that, but we'll still need them to back us up later.
Lottie, do you know where Will is? I know he'd see you if he could.
Yes, he was here. Tomorrow night he'll be at Ray Kavanaugh's shack under Indian Ridge.
He isn't hurt, is he?
No. Does it mean so much to you?
I was afraid they might have caught him.
Doesn't he deserve to be?
I think you're wrong.
Oh, yes, I know you do. You and Will, you're both the same kind.
That's the nicest thing I've ever had said of me.
I'd hate to have it said of me.
You're Will's girl. Do you realize what you've just said? That you'd hate to be called the same kind of person as Will Ballard.
Yes. I guess you'll be going to Kavanaugh's to see Will. Tell him I won't be coming up. He'll understand.
It'll be a pleasure. Will?
Lottie.
No, Will, I'm sorry. Had you rather I hadn't come? Isn't this fire a bit risky with the whole county hunting you?
Yeah.
I'll put a blanket over the window. Somebody might see the smoke.
Yeah, they might. At least we'll die warm. Understand Corteen gave you a bad time. They should have been there to look after you, Celia. Lottie must have told you where to find me. Did she say anything? It's all right, Celia. If she'd come up here, we'd have been married. She didn't come, so that's that.
Sam's not going to marry me either.
Well, bless Sam. Finally saw you weren't good enough for him, did he? I told you, we're a couple of mavericks. This was in the book.
For you and Lottie, too?
Yeah, if it wasn't Hatchet, it'd be something else. Too late then. Lottie likes it safe.
So does Sam.
Peace be with them, then.
I guess it isn't wrong to say this now, Will, but when Sam told me, I felt as though a door had opened and I'd been in darkness the whole time. You knew it, Will, and you didn't tell me.
One man's opinion.
I'm afraid of Sam.
Sam's trouble is he hates to take a beating.
He hates it most from you. That's why I came up here to warn you. I guess.
I can promise you one thing. Sam won't get a chance to kill me till Hatchet's back on his feet again.
That's as good as forever. We have 2 hands, a cook, a cripple, a foreman on the Dodge, and a female owner. Aren't you wishing? How can we possibly get out of this?
I think we can save Hatchet yet. I've got an idea about Indian Springs.
Dean, you're sheriff of this county.
According to me, yes. What's the matter?
I was robbed last night. Gunpowder taken out of my storeroom. And a sledge. And some pipe, too. Are you going to look for the robber or not? I demand to know.
Stuff's gone. Somebody busted that cheap dollar padlock off your lean-to and helped themselves, that's all.
Maybe you did it yourself, Joe.
What'd you bring him for? A witness?
No, he...
Red, get out of here.
Now, wait just a minute. Mr. Corteen and I are partners. We're running cattle together. I bought out Garrison's share in that herd, and Corteen is running them for me, just east of Garrison's.
Oh, just east of Garrison's?
Yeah.
That's sure a mealy-mouthed way of saying Hatchet, isn't it? Now get out of here, both of you.
Now, wait.
Get out of here, you pair of jackals.
Now,
Go on.
listen to me. Listen. All right. Wait up. You know what?
This is pretty near got to be the place. We're a mile past Indian Springs right now.
Yep. There's Mariner's shack right through those trees, just like Miss Everett said.
Man, you got eyes. You could tell if a gnat was a boy or girl at 500 yards.
Howdy, boys.
Howdy, Will. We brought you some grub.
Thanks.
They crowding you, Will?
Some. How long's this job going to take?
It's kind of a new line of work for us. Can't hardly tell.
You do a good job, that's all. Take all the time you need. How's Ike?
Oh, he's doing fine.
What about Celia?
She's no good at waiting.
I want you boys to meet me on the old logging road around the Black Shield as soon as it gets dark.
So long, Will. Take care.
Gone. You go to the D Cross. I'm going to the spring to see how much damage that explosion did.
Sam, how are you?
No good.
What's the matter?
No more Indian Springs.
What?
Will blew it up. The limestone and shale sloughed off in a 50-foot circle.
Huh. That means we'll have to move off that range in a month. With the potholes all dry, we'll have to leg our stock all the way to Bandelier to water them.
I'm not legging my stock back.
But without the springs, those wells wouldn't water 1/10 of your stock.
Hatchet will. Will figured if he blew the springs, it'd come dry weather, we'd all have to fall back in our own range. Not me. I'm not moving back. When I move off that dry strip, I'm moving on to Hatchet.
You hear that, Joe? I'm moving, too. Only I'm not waiting for dry weather. What Hatchet range I want, I'm taking now.
No, I don't think you are, Bide. You see, you both forgot something that Will didn't. All the range around Indian Springs is open range. If a man claimed it, could hold it, then it was his. All the water west of Indian Springs on Hatchet is on patented land. Phil Everts bought that land.
Yeah? What does that mean?
Means you don't move onto it.
You gonna keep us off?
Oh, no. I'm just calling the U.S. Marshal. You see, when you move on to patented land, that's a federal case. I'm helpless. I'm going to call in the government.
I'm so scared of you, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hunt up my crew tonight. Tomorrow my cattle move. On to Hatchet.
Well, you do anything you want, Sam. Tomorrow morning, when the U.S. Marshal's office opens in Santa Fe, I'm sending a telegram. Maybe he can also straighten out this matter about Kavanaugh's death.
You think Mean was bluffing?
Of course he's bluffing, but I'm gonna call his bluff. I'm gonna do just what I told him I was gonna do. Move on to Hatchet. Priest. I want to talk to you. The cattle Cortines grazing below Garrison's. They belong to you?
Yeah, we got a very good buy on them from Garrison.
If you want to keep that stuff, move it off Hatchet Range.
Are you threatening Dad? He doesn't seem to be afraid of you, Will.
He's not going to do the fighting. Cortine will. Are you moving?
You know my stand on this.
I'm going to drive Cortine off that grass if it means shooting.
He means it.
Red can take care of himself, but he ought to be warned. I can't get a man at this hour to ride out there.
Go yourself.
I will. I'll hitch up the buggy now. This might be the chance that Sam and Bite are looking for. Might teach Will a lesson.
I think it might.
I gotta hurry. You think you can find Mariner?
Yes, I'll tell him. Mr. Mariner. I thought you'd like to know.
Yes?
Will Ballard is going to ride out tomorrow to drive Cortine off Hatchet Range. My father's ridden out now to warn Cortine.
Thank you, Miss Priest. Thank you very much for the information. Miss Priest, I thought you were going to marry Will Ballard. I'm getting spooked. Joe, would it make any difference to you if I told you I'd been a bullhead?
Aye.
Well, everything's gone the way we planned. You'll be kept in. You're a good man.
I think I'm a good man. Took me some time to find it out.
Don't go in there, Joe. Joe, don't do it.
Mac, I want to send a telegram.
Where to, Sheriff?
Mac. Yeah. Give me a hand, will you?
Sure.
You bad, Sheriff?
Come on.
I'm glad I found you here, Sam. I couldn't have made it much further. Will Ballard left town last night. He's on his way now to drive my cattle off the grass over by Garrison's.
My saddle's on the corral fence, stored in that bald-faced bay. I'll get my boots on.
Yeah, I want on him.
No time for that. Will you get moving?
Doggone.
Ballard.
Wait a minute. What's he got to do with this priest?
Let him run it. He's out to get Ballard, too.
Have your men put that fire out.
All right, you heard him, boys?
We're gonna hole up in that arroyo over there.
For what?
Ballard's coming in with his crew to get these cattle. I get first shot at him. After that, you can do anything you want, but that's the way it's gonna be, understand?
Yeah, sure.
All right, boys. I'll get yours. Here. You lead those horses up a draw. You two hide yourself down along that ridge in the brush and stay so well hid nobody can tell you're there. Pick your spot, Red.
Well, there they are.
Let's go.
Get him out of here!
Can you hear me, Mel?
If he ever gets off that horse, he'll never get on again.
Look there.
We gotta head for the nearest timber.
How you feeling, Sonny?
Just keep going. Well, we've got to split up. I'll go it alone and try and draw them off of you. They'll follow the single trail.
Wait a minute, kid. There's 6 of them. You're asking for a bag full of lead.
Well, if they get close enough to shoot at me, then they're close enough to see that I ain't you.
All right. We'll hole up a cabinage. You bring Celia up there with some grub and medicine.
You bet.
You're a real good hand, Jim.
Well, he's headed for Hatchet, and as good as dead. We can pin him down there till Biden and his crew close in.
I won't be much good, sir. As good as dead myself. Who's that?
Oh, it's Spook Priest, one of Bide's men. I've had him watching Hatchet for a week on the lookout for Will. Hello, George. Ballard go on into Hatchet?
Ballard? I ain't seen Ballard for days.
Well, you silly jackass, you must have seen him. He just rode right by you if you weren't asleep.
That wasn't Ballard. That was one of them rawhiders.
All afternoon, a wrong trail.
He's asleep.
Yeah, that's good.
What are you thinking about, Will?
Joe Neen.
He'll be all right. The doctor said if he could get through the night, he'd get well.
There's one good thing came out of this fight. Sure made Joe into a lot of man.
Will. Sam's like a man walking in his sleep. He's got one purpose.
All right. I'm not dodging him anymore, though. Hatchet's safe now, Celia. The two mavericks beat off the whole country.
I'm not a maverick, Will.
Sure you are.
If you say so.